timekeeper.
I spent all that time burying him, and you have to go and dig him up.
Give me the shirt.
Oh, God. Now I'm gonna have to go and bury him again, along with his shirt.
Give it.
I understand that he was tasty. I thought he was delicious too. But his shirt doesn't taste as good as his flesh. So let's bury the shirt along with the bones and get along with it.
Otherwise, I'm gonna have to send you to your dead room.
Sunday, November 22nd, 1925, Arkham, Massachusetts. Though All Hallows' Eve is nearly a month past, a grim melancholy lingers throughout the town. Each morning, a thick fog permeates the streets. Nights are beginning to grow longer, and if you ask around town, you'll hear people swear that it's getting darker too. But despite the gloomy mood, progress continues in the sleepy town of Arkham. The election of Nathaniel Rhodes to the United States Senate has upstanding members of the community feeling optimistic about the town's future. And tonight, at his well-appointed estate in French Hill, a man named Joseph Micah hosts the Silver Twilight Lodge's Charity Gala, an annual members-only event that will turn deadly for several attendees.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Joseph Micah announces, raising a glass of champagne in a toast. A hush descends on the room until only the crackle of the fireplace and whispers of gossip can be heard.
allow me to welcome you all into my home for this year's charity gala. We have some very upstanding citizens here tonight, and I thank all of you for your hard work and generosity.
Cheers and murmurs of agreement fill the room. Many of the guests raise their glasses to Valentino, one of the most esteemed members of the lodge this year, who sits at the guest of honor table, which is nearest to the fireplace. Joseph's assistant, Jerome, blends into the wall behind Joseph, discreetly checking his pocket watch. In another corner of the room, the head housekeeper, Penny, walks from table to table, filling empty glasses and collecting dirty salad plates.
Each of you has done great deeds in the name of the Silver Twilight Lodge in our historic city.
Joseph continues.
Next year, we'll continue to shoulder this burden and do what must be done for the sake of progress.
Jerome steps forward quietly, interrupting Joseph's speech with the unassuming confidence that comes from years of trusted service. He taps Joseph lightly on the shoulder and shows him the time.
I'm afraid I am already out of time. Thank you all very much for attending.
Joseph concludes, bowing. Polite applause rises from the audience, and Joseph walks briskly toward the parlor, followed closely by his assistant. Two servants collect coats as latecomers trickle into the manor, and Gabriella, Joseph's head of security, watches over the entrance with hard eyes and a clenched jaw.
Has Mr. Sanford arrived?
Joseph asks curtly, tapping his polished leather shoe on the floor. I'm afraid not, Jerome replies, flipping through the last pages of the estate's guest book. But he should be here any minute, Mr. Micah.
Good. I want there to be no problems whatsoever when he arrives. Am I understood?
Joseph calls out to Gabriella.
Make sure he is well protected.
Gabriella nods, patting the handle of her .45 in her shoulder holster. Joseph turns his attention back to his assistant.
And have Penny make sure the main course is kept good and hot while we wait for Mr. Sanford's arrival. Not a single slice is to be served without his presence.
Not even for Mr. Rivas, sir? Jerome asks, glancing at Yosef over the rim of his thick glasses. Yosef pauses for a moment, considering.
Pour Mr. Rivas another glass of champagne, and I'm sure he will not complain. Also, I'm still waiting on those accounts I asked you about earlier today. Don't forget.
Yosef says, clapping his assistant on the shoulder before walking back into the banquet hall. Jerome nods obediently and heads upstairs. Soon after, the dark mist would appear, and nothing would be the same. Penny sighs as the cool New England air embraces her. It has been a very stressful night, stressful enough that she's decided to sneak away from the clamor to grab a quick smoke before heading back to work. She rests her arms along the metal railing of the balcony, her fingers trembling as they hold her cigarette. The dreary Gambro rooftop and Victorian manners of French Hill span the view below her, the unlit windows hiding countless secrets. She can't remember a night in which her employer was as concerned with every little detail as he is tonight. He is normally so calm, so collected. There's something special about tonight that has him on edge. Is it Mr. Sanford? A shudder crawls through Penny. For some reason, something about that man gives Penny the creeps, but Yosef has interacted with Mr. Sanford many times before, so it cannot be the reason. What could it be that has Mr. Miger so worried? Penny's torn from her thoughts by the gathering of gray clouds overhead, swiftly blotting out the night sky. As the clouds grow ever closer, Penny begins to see shapes emerging from the vapor. She squints and leans over the railing for a better view. That is when she notices the true forms of the shapes in the mist. Their screaming faces, their clawing hands, all writhing in torment and coming straight for her. She cries out in terror and backs up against the wall as the mist envelops the building. A spectral shape emerges from the haze beyond the railing, dressed in blood-stained rags. It begs for rest in a croaking, gasping voice. Her only hope for escape is to retreat back into the manor and call for help.
We're going to be running through the entire Circle Undone campaign with Father Mateo, but for the prologue, we've chosen Penny White as the missing person. Penny White lets you gain a clue after you succeed a skill test during a revelation effect, and she's pretty much the survivor of the missing persons. I picked her for story reasons. I figured she'd be the most likely to have known Father Mateo, whether going to his church or just know him personally. So she doesn't have deck building requirements, but she starts with certain cards, most of which are survivor cards. Dig Deep will certainly be helpful for her to be able to avoid enemies and pass some treacheries, and the knife will help her kill some easier to kill bad guys. It's not the strongest of weapons, but you know, she's supposed to die here anyways, as you will soon find out. Spoiler alert. The flashlight is an absolute necessity for her because her investigate value is a 1. So it's going to be crucial for her to be able to make the most of this card. She also starts with a Wraith in play, and it's in her location engaged with her. The Wraith is not a difficult enemy, but it does 2 horror when it attacks you. So, you know, we have to be careful about that. And that's the first order of business to deal with.
You're all gonna die in there. Oh.
Welcome all to the Circle Undone. We've got our board already set up and ready to go. We are playing on standard difficulty, and we start at the opening location, which is the balcony. And the balcony is a spectral location, haunted. It's 1 shroud, 1 clue. If you fail, each of your cards with health takes 1 direct damage. We do have this treachery that's attached to the agenda, which makes haunted locations get an additional haunted ability. And the Spectral Watcher is going to begin at the entrance. The Spectral Watcher is the enemy that's probably going to end up killing us. It is a 3/5/3 creature, alert hunter, and it doesn't die. So we can only slow it down. My goal here is to get at least 2 clues. I think 2 clues is a decent enough amount that'll help us in the second scenario of the set, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you see that if you've never played it. But for now, we just have to do the best we can because we are destined to die. Before anything, we got to deal with this Wraith. So I think we're just gonna want to kill it because only has 2 health. So if we chuck the knife, let's just attack it with the knife. So regular attack. We're not gonna throw the knife. All right. So that's gonna put us 4 versus 2. And it's a 0. So that's good enough. It takes a damage, and now we're going to go ahead and attack it again. 4 versus 2. And that's a -2. That's good enough. Number needed, so we kill the Wraith. It doesn't die. And instead it gets placed below our location to come back again if we fail and investigate. I think we're going to investigate here using a flashlight. Even though it's a low shroud, we have to get this clue. So it's going to be a 0 to 1. I mean 1 to 0. So here we go. Please be nice. That's a 0. That's good enough. All right, so we get the clue from this location. Nice. And that ends our turn. 1 down. 1 to go, and then I'll be happy. This guy moves. So I think my goal will be to just go on to the very next location and then just hunker down and try to fight whatever comes at me. Now, of course, if I'm going to get more clues, I'm obviously going to get as many clues as I can. I find Penny to be pretty difficult, her and Gabriella, so, you know, wishful thinking. So Doom, and then this goes away, so the Whispers just kind of whiffs away. Nothing happened with that. And the act, we have to take a damage and a horror. So in this scenario, you're going to die eventually as the agenda gets more Doom on it. Watcher's Grasp. So he's not injured, so he doesn't have to heal, but he is going to move. He doesn't have enough movement to get to us this round, so he won't attack us. I think that's how that works. He just moves 1 location, and if you happen to be there, he'll also attack you. But we're not there, so he's not going to attack. I think I can evade him. I think the smart move would be to move in, evade him, and then get the clue from there. Because if I stay here, he's just going to move in and hit me. So, yeah, let's go ahead and move in. So he engages, and poor Penny already has this Spectral Watcher on him. And we are in the master bedroom. You place 1 of your clues in the master bedroom if you fail a haunted, or if you fail an investigate test on there. Okay, fair enough. So now we're gonna have to deal with this guy. So we've used 1 action to move. Definitely, I think evade is the best course of action here. We do have some ways to fight him and be decent at it. Lucky, I think I want to save for that final clue. So maybe we can... Alright, let's evade him. So Penny's is a 2-203. Man. This is a tough one. Evade feels like the best option, but her evade really isn't that good. It's a 2. You know what? No. Let's go ahead and just fight this thing. So we're gonna try and just stab him. We've used 1 action to move in. We have 2 actions left. Maybe we can make something of it. So we're gonna attack him with the knife, and that puts our combat from a 3 to a 4 versus 3. So decent odds, and let's see if we can commit anything. No, just going straight up 4 to 3. Come on, bag. And that is a -1. That's good enough. All right, cool. So we stab him in the chest, and now we do it again. So 4 to 3, and let's see. Come on, Chaos Bag, be nice to us. This is a... Elder Sign. Elder Sign, so we get +1. So we do damage from the knife attack. Very cool. So the Spectral Watcher gets a hit on Penny. Damage and a horror. Ouch. And we'll gain a resource and then put Doom on the agenda. So Doom on the agenda gives us another damage or horror, so we'll go for damage. And draw our encounter card. Oh no, we didn't need another creature. Man, so it's a Shadowhound 2/3/1. It's not too rough. The evade value is only a 1, but Penny's only got a 2, so we're gonna do our best and try and evade this guy. I don't think we can fight both guys. The bag's pretty easy here, so we'll evade. So 2 to a 1. And can we commit something? Should we commit this cat to this? No, we're just gonna go straight for it. So, haunted, yeah. Okay, 2 to a 1. Come on, bag, and it says that's a -2, so we fail. I have to succeed in this evade, because if he attacks me, then we resolve the haunted ability. So we're gonna evade him again. Let's go ahead and do it again. For 2 versus 1. And it's a skull. -3. Unbelievable. So that is a failed attempt. We are now down to our last action this turn. We've got 2 enemies on us. It's starting to look grim for Penny. What am I going to do here? Let me attack the Spectral Watcher. That way I can kill him next turn. So, knife to the Spectral Watcher. That's 4 to a 3. And it's a -1. Good enough, so we hit him for 1. And that ends our turn. So he hits us for 1 damage and 1 horror. And then this dog thing, Spectral Hound thing, hits us for damage. And we had a Doom to the agenda and draw our treachery. Oh my god. So horror from the Doom. We're about to die. Obscuring Fog, one of the least powerful treacheries. But I did forget to put my clue back in the location. This was a haunted ability that should have resolved from when the Spectral Hound attacked me. And the haunted ability on the location is to drop one of my clues. So, unfortunately, I do lose that clue. We have taken a beating from these enemies. We'll just chuck the knife. Try to hit them with that final attack for a 5 to a 3. And if I hit, it does 2 damage. A 0. Nice. Spectral Watcher, we just, in an act of desperation, chuck the knife at him. And he goes down. We also can use the cat. Yeah, let's do that. We can take an attack of opportunity from the Hound. And then use the cat to automatically evade. I think that's going to be the best course of action in order to evade him. Or we can commit the cat, but I don't think so. Let's just pay the resource and put him out. So the dog's going to get an opportunity attack against us. So 1 damage. And then we're going to immediately use the cat's ability to evade for free. He's not elite, so he's evaded. And we're going to use our final action this turn to move to the Victorian Halls. And looks like it is a 4-shroud, 0 clues. We want to get out of there because there's no clues there. Hey, we may still be able to get 1 more clue after all. Hound readies, and he's going to start coming after us. We're going to die next turn anyway, so we might as well just run quickly and try to get that final clue. Because this Doom's going to end up killing us or the creatures. Oh yeah, we take a horror from the Doom. And treachery. Oh, trapped spirits. Okay, here we go. This could kill us. Take 1 damage for each point you fell by, and it's an agility test that we're not good at. We're going to have to just commit cards to this. Because we have no hope of surviving if we don't. Well, I do have lucky. That actually might come in handy. That actually can save my life for this turn. Yeah, I mean, let's take our chances and go for lucky if we do it. So 2 to a 3, and let's hope for a -1 at the worst. And we pull a 0. Yes. So we fail. We spend 1 resource. We play lucky, which means we succeed, and we live 1 more turn. Let's go for that clue, man. Let's get it. Penny's gonna move to the, what is this, trophy room. So this is a trophy room, and this has a 2 shroud, 1 clue. Perfect. 2 shroud. Yes. Yes. Only an autofill can stop us now. Yeah, famous last words. All right, let's get this clue. We're gonna use our last battery from the flashlight. So we're gonna go 1 to a 0. Let's do it. And no autofill, no autofill, no autofill, no autofill. And it is a yes, -1. We get another clue. Look at that. We got 2 clues. Sweet. Well, 1, because 1 got dropped. We move into the billiards room. I don't know that we're going to have enough time to grab this final clue. We have no charges on our flashlight. The shroud is pretty high. And we're about to die. Well, yeah, I don't know that we have any way to nab this clue, really. Yeah. I think we're just going to wait here and die. That's my turn. So this guy readies, this guy moves. We put a doom, which gives us either damage or horror. And so that kills us either way. Either the horror or the damage is going to be enough for us to die. We did okay. We dropped that 1 clue, which is unfortunate because that means we only had 1 clue left. We did clear 2 locations, but one of the clues got dropped in one of the other ones, so we still, that doesn't count, unfortunately. And luckily victory points are not a thing in this scenario, so we do ignore those. This is just a prologue, like everyone's gonna die in it. All in all, Penny did as expected. Not great. She is one of the tougher prologue investigators to succeed with. I think Valentino's probably the strongest one. So that's it for the scenario. So Penny has disappeared into the mist. That is her fate.
Mr. Sanford, thank you so much for coming. I know you are a busy man. Your presence at tonight's meeting is very much appreciated.
Joseph shakes Carl Sanford's hand firmly as he speaks. Sanford merely nods.
I know you've only just arrived, but I have some private matters to discuss with you, if that's all right.
Joseph continues, his narrow eyes shifting back and forth between the men flanking Mr. Sanford.
Very well.
The elderly man nods to his 2 enforcers, who step aside to give him privacy. He cradles his hands behind his back, his stature impressive for his age. His discerning eyes fall on Joseph.
What is the matter?
Joseph leans closer.
It's here, sir. Here in this very house.
There is a quiet pause between the 2 men, and then Carl Sanford smiles. Well, that was quite a horrific tale, wasn't it? Looks like Miss White turned into Miss White with fear. Until next time, investigators, I'll talk to you soon.